ahead and get started. So yeah, please feel free to continue to eat your snacks, sip your drinks. Don't mind us. Listen, I know it's after dinner time, okay? I'm hungry just like y'all. So we're not going to hold y'all too long. The last 30 minutes or however long it takes is really just going to be a breakout. Like I said, this is MSU Toastmasters, so they're just going to talk a little bit more about their speaking opportunities, touching more on public speaking and using your voice to its power. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and give it up for Mr. Kendrick.
All right.
Mr. 5-star.
All right.
5-star for the
Thank
one.
y'all. Mr. Eastman, you did a phenomenal job. So I just want to get your attention and say, if you are amazing, clap once. Of course, some of y'all slipping. Y'all wasn't ready. If you are amazing, clap once. If you're amazing, clap twice. On the count of 3, I want you to say, I am amazing. 1, 2, 3.
I am amazing.
Yes, you are, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm Kendrick Tilghman, and this is about the power of your voice. We're going to run through just a brief introduction to what Toastmasters is, a little bit of information about how to speak, and we're going to do an activity, and we'll be out in 25 minutes. So this is a little bit of me. I'm a husband, a father, a grandfather, too. Of course, some of you heard that I lost my daughter, so we're a full-time grandpop. He is 9 years old, about to be 10. My granddaughter is 11 years old from my stepson. And being a pop-pop and for the last 11 years at 45 has been a tremendous, amazing opportunity. I always win all the guessing of ages and all of the things with Pop-Pop. And so I'm a 2-time Morgan State Bear School of Engineering undergrad, and I got my master's here in this great school of business. I'm a professional speaker since I joined Toastmasters. I joined Toastmasters here, it was 2011, and by 2013, it says November 2013, they gave me an award for the community work that we've been doing in the community. And so I'm a social entrepreneur. I'll share with you a little bit about our educational journey, and I'm a founder of the Be More STEM Foundation, play on words because I'm from Baltimore City, but it means bringing everyone more opportunities and relevant experiences in science, technology, engineering, and math. Why your voice matters. Your voice is your brand. It builds trust. It opens doors. And so some people say, Kendrick, I get scared of speaking. And these are real pictures from back in 2011 from Toastmasters. I actually put some time in this presentation, so I wanted to make sure all of the things that happened matters. And so when I look back and said, oh my God, it was 2012 and 13, look where these people are. And I wanted to add value to this presentation by keeping it really, really relevant to where we are, because this was at Morgan State University, right? This was the old School of Business building, and we're in the new School of Business building. So see how these things connect. We are 3 things I'm trying to do today. Just give you some information about public speaking. We're going to do a table topics activity, and then we're going to have a call to action at the end. Really simple. Stop me anytime if you have any questions. Just want to give you some quick understanding of what professional speaking looks like. Here are the 4 types. I call it PIE, so you can remember it. P for persuasive, when you want to change someone's opinion. I for informative, when you want to focus on the knowledge transfer. Another I for inspirational, when you want to inspire. And then finally, we have the E for entertaining, which is one of my favorites. Now, your voice, at the end of the day, equals influence. And so some people say, well, Mr. Tilghman, I get scared when it's time. And I said, well, think about when you're an entrepreneur and you have one purpose, you have to get the message across. And for me, having a wife for now 15 years who is on this slide intentionally, communication is number 1 on our list. Sometimes when we were just starting out 20 years ago, we were listening to respond. And that is not how you communicate. You want to be listen to understand so that we can come together, even if we got to agree to disagree. And so I want you to understand that when you're getting your message across can be related to your sales. Sometimes people are so afraid of sales. I am one of those people. So when you see the word sales, change it in your mind and say serve. When you're serving your community, you're serving your clients, sometimes they have to have a budget for that. And so when you see sales, sometimes it kind of scares us as African Americans. And so many of us are addicted to the labor by which we earn our primary income. So I want you to remember the quote is, the answer to who does not have to be you. Second, we have leadership and culture. and advocacy and visibility. These are the different types where your voice equals influence. And so I'm going to keep it moving, but I will go back to any slides you need to see, and I can actually have you this presentation that I'll send to Gab. The overcoming. I want you to go from hesitant to raising your hand to being resilient. I want you to understand that there are common barriers. It says fear of being judged, the imposter syndrome, and lack of clarity. I'm not going to go too deep in these things because Ms. Easton really killed it and nailed it, but I just want to highlight, when you look at the source of the fear, whether it's judgment or failure, all of these things comes from not practicing. When you practice, I don't care if you go in the mirror, you record yourself right now and look at these things and you can see, oh, I use my hands too much. I have to, when you practice, you can hear your fumbling. And one thing that we do at Toastmasters is we have leadership roles and volunteer roles. And so the leadership roles, the people that are volunteering to be the grammarian and the eye counter, these are the people that are paying attention to your vocabulary and the filler words that you may use. Sometimes we're a little afraid to speak and we use filler words. Like, so, you know, and some of us are from Baltimore City. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And there are a whole bunch of filler words that diminish what you're about to say after. And so we want to be very cognizant of how we're using our vocabulary. And that's why I invite you all to MSU Toastmasters, and we'll get to that part as we continue on with this presentation. The effective speech structure, your foundation. Every word is meaningful, but at the end of the day, you saw what I did. I did an introduction. Then I told you exactly what I'm going to tell you. And then I'm going to conclude and tell you what I just told you. And that's what I put. You have an opening, so usually a quote. I use chants. I might say, when I say be more, y'all say STEM. Be more. It gets the audience engaged. And that's what you want. You said it best. You have 30 seconds. So first 30 seconds, you want to get that introduction. You're going to tell them what the content is. It's usually 3 points. That's what I said. I said, I'm going to give you an introduction. I'm going to give you some information about speaking. And then we're going to do an activity. And then we're going to have our conclusion. And in our conclusion, it's going to be a call to action. And I'm really just going to tell you and summarize what I just told you. Don't make it difficult. When you make it difficult, you sound like you're all over the place. I mean, fabulous job, sis. You set me up perfectly. Like it's like a slam dunk here. And so I want you to just really know the effective speech structure is simple as this. Introduction. It could be a quote that you memorize. Or have a little note card. You see the quote, put the note card away. Now everything is off the cuff because you do the introduction, you're going to tell them what you're going to tell them. Then you're going to tell them what you said you was going to tell them. And then you're going to conclude by saying, I told you what I just told you. Simple as that, okay? Now, 2 things I want you to understand. Your vocal variety matters. If I came up here and was talking monotone and didn't have any vocal variety, it would lose interest. So you got to watch your vocal variety and your body language. Hand gestures add value. When I do this, we know it's talking something large. When I did this, you know I came with love. And so it's certain hand gestures that you can use to leverage your point and conveying more than what words can convey. Now, when you're dealing with audiences, it's great to have some type of visual. Sometimes we come with handouts. I've come with a little boom box so I can bring some music because many people know me as DJ 5-Star. It adds value. You don't want to have something that's a distraction. And so we don't want to be reading a book because if I'm booking, I'm flipping, it's distracting you.